Hi, I'm Paul Schaefer, the Executive Director of the Log Cabin Literary Center. Here at the Log Cabin's Summer Writing Academy, students engage personally and creatively with the art of language, telling stories and reading poems that relate their own experiences in their own words. They are led by teaching writers through explorations of culture and history. In visits to community, institutions, and natural sites, they learn in a classroom as wide as the sky. Students respond with passion and playfulness, with honesty and courage about what is important in their lives. As educators and as adults, we have a stake in listening.
I hate to be pushed on. I do!
Come on, Samantha.
It's the recognizing that young people have something to say.
I hate it when people call people names. I just feel like calling them names and everything, you know?
Really important things to say, and we need to listen. And when we only ask them to write academic essays and research papers, we don't hear that voice. And their voice is strong, it's true and powerful, and it's our future.
The Feet's Journey. This is a story about 2 feet. Their names are Joe and Elise. One day, they took a walk in the jungle. The grass was wet and slimy.
It's giving them an opportunity to experience their writing selves in various environments. For instance, at the zoo, you have an opportunity as a writer to look not only at the zoo environment, but possibly the point of view of the animal looking from the cage to the people looking at the animal.
Hi, I'm Phil the Penguin. This is my story about the moment I woke up to breakfast. I woke up, stretched, played some cards, and I wrote this story and took a shower and ate breakfast. I don't know why, but the end.
Although these students may have been to the zoo numerous times, now they approach it as a writer, and it's a very different experience.
She steps up to the line, stands there, just looks at the basket. It seems so far away. She's been playing basketball all her life, and yet the basket seems like it's a million miles away.
You can't teach them to write happiness. You can't say write freedom. You know, they have to find a way to say that on paper. And that's what I found with these writers, that they had perspectives that I hadn't thought of.
Whatever field these students decide to pursue, they'll have the need to communicate clearly and vividly and effectively about their work to their peers. Those students who can do that most effectively always will be the most successful.
Indigenous, native to a particular region, an adjective.
Here on the Fort Hall Reservation, because of the reticence to present their work publicly, the published anthology, which in this case will be a zine, takes on added significance. A zine is a kind of personalized magazine, and so we want these students to feel ownership of it. We want them to feel that this magazine, that this collection of their work is theirs.
There really wasn't a set time when the writing would occur. People would begin to write when they were ready to write, and so it turned out that 2 or 3 people would be writing most of the day. And you have to be able to roll with that and adapt to that. These kids wanted to write in their tent. It had been raining a little bit. They still wanted to be writing. They had begun by sitting at picnic tables. The rain came down. They went to their tent. There was one person working on drawing. She was very attentive to detail. She had clear ideas about what the drawing signified. One girl was working on writing very independently and didn't want me to read it until she was completely done, and then gave it to me and left and didn't want me to be around her when I read it. But the other girl had begun with questions. How would I want to talk about friendship. How would I do that? I would try to model the kind of sentence that would not just relate a factual detail but awaken a mood. But sometimes what makes the writing interesting is when you go a little further and you have an insight that isn't just obvious to everybody, you know. So the stuff.
A lot of these kids might be kind of standoffish at first because they come from, broken homes. on our reservation we have 50% unemployment rate. The majority of the people are in poverty. Kids know, if someone's going to be here for a brief moment and they don't really care about me and they want to promote something, they're going to be standoffish. But if they know, like Andra, if they know that she's a caring person, that's number one, And I think if they can build that connection with a non-member of our tribe, I think it's perfect.
If you were to tell a story right now about yourself, where would you put yourself? Would you be right here? Tiny.
Would be that very little window where every day you do the same thing, same thing.
Yeah, so then it's about the repetition of detail. Okay, this is Tabitha's. The way Idaho... When you create a context that is safe for emotional expression, it's amazing what happens. I love to see the amazing eagles. When we would ride free horses, the cool air going through my hair, it makes me feel more free than I am. My people watch us closer than ever. People say things about my tribe, but I don't listen to them. People say I'm crazy, that I do the things that my elders have done once before. I listen to my elders. I believe in them. I will believe in them forever. Tabitha, that is just beautiful. Woohoo! Very nice work.
With Native Americans, we're very oral. We like to tell stories, and that's how stories are passed on, is I tell it to you, or my grandfather tells it to me, and I tell it to all my friends. Writing traditionally hasn't been a big historical way of record keeping, But hopefully, we can teach these girls, let's do both. Let's do this and do this, because in our culture we have to remember the past but also work towards the future.
Dream. I was lying in bed thinking about the dream I had the day before.
The reading at the campfire that night was an amazing culmination to our time together.
I woke to a tunnel of light beaming down around me. I felt so happy to see it.
That they would trust us enough to share such obviously significant feelings meant a great deal to me.
Then I heard this slow voice tell me, "Not yet, Royce." Hold on. It's emotional.
There's a very real human contact that becomes available to you, that becomes possible. And we felt that.
You turn around and these are the people who are going to be leading our country, who are going to be running the tribe in a very short time. To me, that's a great investment because they are the ones who are going to make the difference. I think it's a great thing that both private and public organizations support these kinds of efforts because they do make a difference. They do give students opportunities that without that kind of support we couldn't provide.